while, and top lane matchups have changed since then. Maokai being a heavily contested one, Gragas big, and, well, already banned away.
Yeah, these bans have come out really quickly. They're not letting St. Vicious on the Evelynn, which he had a great performance on, and then Maokai off the table from Rux, Gragas on the top lane from Chris, and just also banning out the Yasuo. You can't let Golden Glue get his hands on that champion because they just have too many contingencies on how to make it work in the late game.
That's your Golden Glue, great assassin player, and a lot of synergy, though, already here with the Tristana pick grabbed regardless. St. Vicious has to look into his jungle pool with the Evelynn gone, decide if he wants something here.
Well, the big thing here for me is Santorin loves Elise and Lee Sin. He's going to get at least one of them this game, and then that gives him the opportunity to go duel St. Vicious in the jungle. That's
true. And the Elise comes through. Lee Sin, I have heard him characterized as a good 1v1 against Elise as far as matchups are concerned, so that could be nice and dandy here for Santorin.
Yeah, if you ever land the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike on a Spiderling instead of her, sometimes the trade can go the opposite direction.
True.
But if she lands a Cocoon, she'll usually come out on top. But it's a back and forth. It really is.
And of course, did you know, I'm sure you did, as a jungler player, as long as you have Safeguard and then Iron Will on, you can spell vamp by smiting a Spiderling. So,
oh yeah.
A little bit extra combat power. Yeah, you can slow him down as well. It's useful. And as well as the AoE, of course, dealing for you. Santorin will get the Lee Sin, and the top lane, Nidalee, comes through, picked by Golden Glue for Rux. Coast getting a lot of very high priority champions, but keep in mind, Bunny Fufu does have that Thresh.
Exactly. The Thresh here is top pick for Sheep. Sheep and Bunny Fufu both played against each other when they were in the LCS, and they love that pick. It was highly contested between them then, it's highly contested between them now, and Curse Academy gets it.
But look at what comes out here for Curse Academy, though. They get the Corki to try to lane bully Trist in the lane. We'll look for early pressure here, but Rise coming in. And I actually don't know if that's mid or top Rise here. Both of them can play the champion.
So back when we saw Mash before he was on Coast, the team that he was on, I think it was Curse Academy at the time, whenever he was on a hyper carry, they would do really well. If he wasn't, they would fall flat. He's back on a hyper carry, playing to his strengths and his style, and it's up on him to Impactful to shut him down in the early game, in the mid game. But there's a lot of things here, because if Curse Academy scales and they get past that and keep Tristana down, the Rise is going to keep them right in the game. And Rux, I mean, Chris, we've seen him on that before, and he's just destroyed.
He absolutely has, and so it's a champion to keep in mind in this game is, can Santorin pressure that with Rux here in the top lane? Is it going to be mid lane Rise and maybe an Aurelia versus Nidalee? There's a lot of options available as they keep hovering over champions. I don't know, my instinct is still that's a mid lane Rise for ManCloud.
Well, the last time we saw ManCloud, the last 2 games, he played Ahri back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's going to be for him here.
Okay, so the option to hover, whatever they wanted. I saw the Aurelia hover and I got excited. That wasn't the case, though. It is top lane Rise for Chris up against this Nidalee of Rux. ManCloud is going to play even more Ahri, and Golden Glue's got to make sure he stays safe against that assassin mid laner.
So every time Golden Glue has gone up against ManCloud, even back in the LCS when they would meet, when they were on XTG and Dignitas, Golden Glue would always get the better of the trades. He'd come out on top in CS and in kills by the end of the game with a higher KDA. So is that going to be the story here tonight as well?
Well, Coast come in as a favorites. You got to expect that's going to trickle down to everybody on the roster, where if you win team fights, your KDA just goes up regardless, and maybe the Lee Sin of Santorin can push that his way as well, but we got to see as they get into the game. As this match begins, let's check who you think is going to win from home. According to LOLesports.com, 80% of you say that Team Coast will take the series, and I think that is, the most one-sided vote of the day.
Yeah, I think so. At Coast, there's a little bit of a non-surprise factor to that. Curse Academy is very popular with St. Vicious, and they're 4 LCS players, or former. But Coast, they do have some star power here themselves with 4 former LCS members themselves, but they also took Summer Series 1, and they've been looking really strong. And a lot of teams in the bottom of the LCS right now have their eyes on Coast.
And honestly, Coast are incredibly impressive. They are scary. As we talked about, these guys have been scrimming LCS teams a bit. That was something that Teammate's been doing, something that LMQ had been doing for a while before they came into the LCS. And you saw them dominate the Challenger Series and then go take right now first place in the season. Like, this is definitely a path available to these teams if they can do well in the spring promo tournament. And it's really just up to how well they gel as a group of players. These rosters have been undisturbed for a while, which is a good point for both teams, that they will have that shot calling, that communication down. And then it's, all right, well, how good are you at keeping up with your region's best?
Yeah, if anything, these rosters have just been enhanced lately. Addition of Santorin. Great decision there by Coast.
Absolutely. Rux put his name in all caps.
It's Rux!
He's pulling a Dade. They both put the name in all caps. I don't know why, but they've done it. Mash has shortened his name. It used to be Don't Mash Me.
Yeah, it was a mouthful. Mash is so much easier. Now it's just Mash Sheep in the bottom lane.
Mm-hmm. Nice little portmanteau there.
You can smash them together really easy. Mash Sheep!
That's it. Uh-oh, Bunny Fufu, though.
Bunny, if he throws a random hook, there are 5 members in there, and he does.
Hook catches Santorin, bomb, javelin, bubble comes out. That was a lot of Qs just pressed right there.
These teams know each other so well. The last time they met, it was whichever team got a really early advantage, won that game, and then they went back and forth 3 games in that series.
Mm-hmm. And now maybe Coast can slow it down and play maybe more their game. As favorites, you gotta generally look for a less chaotic game. I feel like if you're supposed to win on paper.
Yeah, but that's not really Santorin's style. Santorin likes to crush his enemy and go find them in the jungle. It's kind of harking back to the days where Meteos was like, if you're doing nothing as a jungler...
Rux is doing something as a top laner. That's running into the enemy team. He is trying to run away. Some damage still available, but likely to get out safe.
Doesn't blow a flash.
Yeah, it's big.
Is a big thing there. He goes to the bush for some safety and gets out. But man, he's going to be forced to back. He might miss 1 minion, but that's about it.
He should be okay. Actually lets him get another potion as well, I think.
Yeah.
So not the end of the world for him. He could actually choose to TP with that extra potion if he wanted to. But we'll see how that matchup ends up going. Curse Academy are going to slink into this bottom lane. Are they going to show up late to show a fake leash? Looks like not the case here.
Well, if you're fake leashing, usually you'll spend some mana as well, like maybe throw a phosphorus bomb into the darkness.
Yeah.
But he's going to want that to push, especially against this Tristana.
All right, well, Coast will... Basically, both these teams can realize that the junglers both start on the top side of the map. Early Bubble's going to land, and Mash going to start pushing this lane up as well. I want to see how well Bunny Fufu can last it with his Relic Shield. Gets 1. So far, so good for both teams.
Oh, Mash actually doesn't have Explosive Shot right now. He has Rocket Jump.
Interesting choice there. Sheep losing a lot of health, though. Great hook by Bunny Fufu. However, the push lead does go Coast way, meaning they should get level 2 first and a bully advantage.
You'll have to see, not starting with the Explosive Shot is actually kind of big because you don't get that fast push down, and you also don't get the early harass.
Oh, they may or may. They're hoping basically to keep Rise out of the fights with split push Nidalee. Yeah. I feel like the fact that Coast can sort of force more things outside of picks, to be fair, is a lead for Coast. So it's like, hey, Mancloud and Bunny, can you pick random people off? Because otherwise, I feel like Coast can just play their game plan. Exactly.
Coast, if they go and they show up at the Dragon first, they're like, oh, we'll just set up some zone control with Ziggs, and then they'll be good to go. Rux will continue to split push, and that's what he loves to do. Even when we see him on things like Aatrox or Renekton, he's always split pushing. And hey, Trinity Force is actually a real buy on this champion.
Of course it is. It's a wonderful item on every champion. How dare you? Unfortunately, both junglers put Smite on F, though, so I can't really vouch for Santorin or St. Vicious here.
See, as a real jungler, it does belong on F. Kobe agrees.
Okay, Kobe I'll respect.
And Dash agrees.
Dash I don't respect. I'm just kidding. I respect Dash. It's okay. Just sometimes people are wrong occasionally. It's just how it works in life.
All right.
St. Vicious looking for this bottom lane. The bubble's going to land, though. It does not bait Coast in. They land CC, but don't follow.
Oh, the hook!
It's cheap. Uh-oh, that is not good. He is trying to run away. Somebody, he'll already burn the flash as well. And there is first blood. Bunny Fufu claims it before 4 minutes.
That is exactly what Curse Academy want coming into this game. They said that bottom lane is so powerful from Coast, and that theirs is just as good. So Saint is going to camp it early and get it ahead so they can transition into that late game.
And that is exactly the plan now for Curse Academy, man. Corki, the early game lane bully Thresh, always has a chance to make a play, and Saint is not done, though. He looks for going to go to the flash. Nope. Cocoon went from behind him. I think he flashed. I've not seen that interaction before. I think he flashed after Cocoon came out.
Huh. He tried to Cocoon himself.
Did not stun himself, so it's all right.
It's like that new Ezreal W.
Yeah, so you ready for this one?
Boo!
Oh, no, it does?
What?
I didn't know it worked that way. Apparently it does not work like Charm does. I was unaware of that.
That's a pause after that.
Why not? I don't know if it's for that necessarily, but certainly got ourselves a pause here. Okay, so the picks have happened. Curse Academy has shown that Bunny Fufu's Thresh is freaking spot on. I actually, when I went down and I talked to Curse Academy, they were jokingly saying they hadn't done picks and bans yet. They had, of course, they trolled me at first. I was like, yeah, we don't know what we're really going for. And I sort of speculated, like, I really wonder at what point in this series you guys rush first pick Thresh. Because I feel like both your supports are these ridiculously god-tier Thresh players where, like, most teams don't first pick Thresh. These two teams, I feel like, could. Yeah. Coast, of course, went for the Tristana, and I understand that pick to set up Mash here. But you saw a first round, first pick for Curse Academy. Bunny Fufu Thresh. Already first blood.
Yeah, exactly. Right off the bat, first blood in that lane, and there's so much emphasis on these bottom lanes here coming into this game. You have to think, the Nami pick into that, little questionable. Morgana, Braum, they have great showings on these other champions, but Nami's very, very vulnerable. Fish on a hook.
And yeah, it's true that like you've got this sort of hard-countered lore synergy where Fish on a hook, you know, it's easy to bait them, and it just makes so much sense. I mean, this is your joke. I'm just building off of it. I'm just building off of it. This is all his. But it's interesting because you have a lot of really interesting games to play in champs, like in the game itself, because Nami is a great lane bully. She lanes really well. You've got the sustain, you've got CC potential, you've got gank setup, all these good things. And if you're the air quotes better team, you kind of want to play these bully lanes. You don't want to be like, oh, we'll just let you get a laning phase for free, even though we're better players. It still opens you up to Bunny Fufu making plays, but I can't condemn Sheep for saying, I'm going to play an aggressive laner here.
Yeah, but the thing is that he's playing it into an early game team.
True.
And Santorin has his eyes on other lanes. He's up in that top lane right now and actually making it back for himself. I think he's probably looking for Saint Vicious most of the time.
That is one thing that Lee Sin is good at, is running in and finding the enemy jungler. Want to see how the items pan out here. Longsword versus Boots. Both these guys got wards, though.
Yeah, he counter-jungled, and he put a ward down near the Wraiths. He's waiting to find Saint, waiting to get an advantage over him, and then push it as Lee Sin.
And Golden Glue's burning his escapes just to push the wave. I think he wants to back pretty soon for a Chalice there. Double ring plus Boots for ManCloud. That could be the setup of a DFG start. I don't typically see double ring unless you're skipping Chalice.
Yeah, the mono regen will help you out on your way to that DFG as opposed to the Chalice. CDR is not a problem.
You know, actually, some players really plan for the Deathfire Grasp build. I know Shifter is a player who will run mana regen seals if he goes DFG. Because he's skipping Chalice there, but now the push in towards Dragon. There is a ward right on top. Santorin does have a ward to hop out if he wants to go for the play.
Bunny Fufu pulled so far back, though. Sheep, they're trying to converge on this. It's 3-on-4.
Morphers coming down. The Mash gets hooked in. There comes the fight, picked up cleanly by Saint Vicious. And the Lantern does not get him out in time. Mash claims the kill after the Q from Rux. But as one kill trade for a Dragon, though, still better for Curse Academy.
Killed him while he was in the air.
Yep.
Such a great pick up there. And that's exactly what they needed in that bottom lane, getting the kill on the Tristana.
Yes, and suddenly that's going to make life much easier. Unfortunately for Curse Academy, their kill had gone on the support, so early Sightstone is nice, but it is not necessarily Snowball Corki.
And this looked like Santorin wanted to get in, and then boom. Rux actually swiped him as he was passing. It was a clothesline.
Takedown. It's a 230 damage takedown into a single auto attack of Tristana.
And this early on in the game, 230 damage is a lot.
It's a significant chunk of a health bar.
It's a fifth of Golden Blues right now.
Yep.
Look at that. It's about that much.
There you go. Some pain. ManCloud, though, going to be pretty safe in wave clearing. So he's going to recall back after this wave. And it's the first recall back for Chris here. Tier, probably an easy buy for him. He did not TP into that fight, by the way, so had a little bit of free time in the lane. Saint's going to just easily walk in and hold the lane himself. Rux going to recall back. Catalyst and Tier, though, done for Chris very early on. He has not been held down in this lane. And Nidalee, we know, as usually an early game bully. I don't know how late game Nidalee vs. Rise goes 1v1.
We're going to have to find out. It's going to happen eventually in this game, unless Curse Academy ends it very early. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
Oh, they're up 700 gold right now. It's not the biggest margin, but we'll see what else they can control. Blue buff goes to Golden Glue.
I actually like this by Rux. He went back and he bought himself a Chalice.
Yeah.
So he has mono regen now, so he has a little bit of that poke sustain. He also has the magic resist against Chris, who just came back with a lot of damage on Rise. The mono will convert straight into that form.
I do like that adaptation here, actually. I think it's a really smart choice. I remember, it's fun, actually, some of the top lane builds as they pan out. I remember talking to Westrice about top lane builds back when Rumble was popular. And he's like, actually, Malphite's good against Rumble. You just build a Chalice first, and you just Q him on cooldown. And the MR makes you stay alive. Rux goes in on Chris, though. Damage traded back and forth.
And Santorin,
and he's baiting in Santorin.
From behind.
Hops in, kicks into the wall, lands the Q, more damage. There's the flash burned away. And they have enough to chase him into the turret. Rux wants to go for this one. The takedown works, and a kill goes into the top lane for Rux.
You land that Spirit, it resets your Cougar, and he just jumps straight in for the kill. Santorin setting up the top lane.
Absolutely beautiful. Burns the kick, and no summoners even lost by Coast for that. So a kill and the summoner lost. Chris does not have TP. He's going to miss multiple waves now top lane, and Rux is set up to completely crush this 1v1.
That's really what he's set up for in the buy, because that delays his Trinity Force. He's looking to just survive, get more rotations on his spells. The fact that Santorin helped him out basically almost gave him a free chalice for a bit, because he has a kill and an assist.
Ooh, wow, look at the damage from ManCloud, though. That is before any real ability power comes in. That's no Death by our Grasp just yet. Golden Glue, got to be careful here.
Yeah, when you flash into the end of that linear skill shot, you're still going to eat both parts of it.
Yes, you are. And it was rather painful there. Golden Glue is going to do what he can to hold on to this lane. He is still 10 CS up. He had roamed down to the Dragon earlier, but
hey,
ManCloud, I think, is very empowered to make plays here, though.
Big thing about this, I talked about how every time they've matched up, Golden Glue gets the better. He's up in CS right now, and he's chugged his potions. He's actually in a pretty good place HP-wise again, but his flash is down. No ulti from ManCloud, ulti from Golden Glue. See what happens here?
Yeah, I feel like ManCloud's playmaking is down for a little bit until that Spirit Rush does come back, but he'll have Ignite when it does.
Speaking of playmaking, Santorin has his eyes near that bottom lane. His red is up, and he hasn't taken it just yet. He might go for that and then make a loop around.
He's going to look at that a little bit. St. Vicious, though, gets some ward coverage into the jungle, and Curse Academy making the first move. Sweeper used. They're going to run right in towards this red buff here.
Oh, if they can collapse on this, the ultimate from Golden Glue was used already.
They know about this. The Q to the St. Vicious with a kick on a ManCloud.
Oh!
Knocks up Saint. There's a whole bunch of explosions in Curse Academy. Suddenly realized they stepped onto a ward. A great lantern does not save St. Vicious. The Ignite of Sheep claims the kill. And Coast find 2 kills in their own jungle.
The collapse, the warding of their own jungle was perfect there by Coast to set up that 2 for 0.
And it was absolutely beautiful. You saw one ward get swept, but there was already a defensive ward on the red buff itself. I don't know who chooses that, but it was a great choice there. Rux, you can see trading against Chris, but Chris already running out of mana. Rux out-sustaining the mana bar here, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, when you have the Chalice, your mana regen is increased. You can take a lot of beating because you're maxing Primal Fury first most of the time.
You know what that Surge of Health
Primal
he's got?
Surge.
Yep.
Boom.
Surge of Health he's getting is keeping him in a decent spot. Watch that again. Misses the Q, but this ward hop kick is beautiful.
Hits both of them and just deals the damage across it. The Lantern out, but the Ignite. Oh!
Dead Spider.
If you ever have a spider problem, just burn them.
Yeah. Bring sheep. Bring a fish. Why not? Going well. Actually, bot lane, though, very low CS mash. Only 78 minions at 11.5 minutes. The lane itself is going incredibly well for Impactful. Mash kind of went greedy style and bought an early Avarice Blade. I don't think the 20 CS is worth that extra gold, though. It's just that he is getting some kills, so Mash isn't too far behind thanks to his team. Yeah,
the Avarice Blade, a little greedy there. He's going to be down about 20 CS in this bot lane. But that's a little bit to be expected in this mid-game hump here, because Corki has that edge.
That's true. It is a matchup lead, and it's one that Curse Academy are pushing forward.
Oh, he just bought the Static Shiv straight out now,
yeah.
So he's looking to farm and push the waves onto the Corki as fast as possible.
There we go, guys. Yes, wards are dying. I know some of you guys on the internet hate me for cheering you guys on for this, but it's worth it because y'all are wonderful here.
Oh. If that's the only thing people on the internet are hating you for,
hey,
you're lucky. Oh, here comes Rux.
Well, here we go. The fight could begin. Santorin does have the kick available. They've been freaking awesome so far this game. More wards dying. And here we go. ManCloud looking back and forth, has the ulti. Ziggs trying to zone out the team. Curse Academy really want in, though. They've got some ward coverage.
Chris hasn't TP'd in yet. There it goes. Oh, the Mega Inferno Bomb and the final wave.
Drops from low. St. Vicious steals away the dragon. And Rux now getting hooked in. The fight has begun. Santorin rather low, but kills St. Vicious anyway. One kill up for Ghost. Dragon goes to Curse Academy.
No miss smite there. That puts them back in the game, and they come out net positive on that.
Unless Coast can do something with the number lead right here. They've already taken down 2 turrets this game, and maybe they can get some more health bars a little bit low. Missing some multis as well.
They hit some item spikes here too, because the Static Shiv was just completed. Why not just force an objective, go for the dragon? They had their back timers completely right on that, and they come out on top with it.
So beautiful stuff there by St. Vicious and co. And that is going to look nice. Even though his scoreline is 0-3-1, you still got to commend him for his objective control so far. That's been good. Sightstone comes out early for Saint. He wants the ward control here. And Vision is going to be the name of the game here for Curse Academy. If they can turn some kills with that Vision, so much the better. And it's a stable jungle route now for Saint for now.
So when we talked about the junglers at the start and keeping eyes on them, both junglers have 100% kill participation. Santorin is 1, 0, and 4. Out of the 5 kills, he's had a say in all of them. He's been just owning this map from top to bottom, influencing every lane and getting them ahead, and now he can focus on objectives and know that they will most likely win the fights just because they have more experience and more levels. They just have to find them.
Well, and right now, Coast are doing a pretty good job of finding kills so far. They hold up almost a 2,000 gold lead here. Unfortunately for Saint, the only jungle buff, or sorry, the only gank we've seen him really get was that first blood bot lane. So since 4 minutes, Curse Academy have not found any kills. It's been 10 minutes since they've scored anything.
Yeah, it's kind of been a little stally game here in this mid portion, but that's not what Curse Academy wants. They have that, like 4 of their members are really good in the early mid game and have edges over Coast. Coast has Tristana, they have Ziggs. It's really hard to siege against them. They have a split pusher at the same time. If any of their lanes get ahead, it's really hard to come back.
That's true, and that's going to be the difficulty then. Coast, they want to get the team fights in, and so far, the fights themselves have gone well. It's just the smites that have been good for Saint. But we're back into the 2-on-2s and the 1-on-1s. And I feel like we're going to start seeing small leads come in now for Coast. Only 15 to 10 CS down now in the bot lane. Impactful will try to wave clear.
Both junglers present in the bottom lane. Santorin looping around. They see him.
Puts a ward down, sees Saint as well. Blaney does not have a sweeper up just yet, and this turret under a little bit of pressure here.
There's a lot of pushing power here with the static shiv on Nash.
Yeah, they're just crushing these guys under the turret. Rux wants in onto Chris, lands the javelin, jumps on in, half HP already on Rise. The answer back does some damage, but Rux can heal it back up. So that is just still health going down. They're going to go in onto Mash. The Flay does not come in until before he rockets him away. The flash on in, Impactful is there.
Oh, he's so
Rocket
low.
lands, the hook is dodged by Mash, but he can't get away from the last missile barrage. Impactful does claim the kill. Another great hook from Bunny Fufu.
Both kills this game have happened because of hooks from Bunny Fufu. Really amazing player. You don't give him Thresh. It's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, you can give it to him, but if you want that to happen.
So I look by Bunny. He tries to save the Flay. I think he casts it right there. And Mash was trying to wait till he rocket jumped afterwards, but just a good chase from here.
Bunny actually flashed there to extend the range of the Lantern to pull Impactful even closer at the end.
I think that guaranteed the kill. I think they wouldn't have gotten it without that flash.
Yeah, because Mash flashed afterwards too. So they went support flash for AD carry flash.
That's fairly worth it. Support flashes tend to be shorter. You can see Bunny Fufu, by virtue of having Biscuits, he did go deep enough utility for the Summoner Spell cooldowns. So 30 seconds less on his flash compared to Mash. But Rux is having, honestly, a field day here in the top lane. Saint easily grabs away the camp for himself. And top lane is actually under fire. Look at that with the jungle showing up. Gonna trade out of turrets, actually. Top lane for bottom lane. Rux wants to defend, but it's 1v2 still.
Saint causing pressure, but here comes Golden Glue to the top lane. He throws his Mega Inferno Bomb for wave clear.
They're gonna actually save the turret to take it back. I thought Curse Academy could trade, but Rise, such a slow turret pusher, gets no headway there. MacLeod kills a ward, but otherwise not a very big deal. Lantern gets him out. Doesn't even want it.
Oh, he's gonna want it soon.
There's a charm. There's
he still has the Q on him.
Oh, what a play! And now in comes Mash, though. Can he do the damage? MacLeod forced to ult to get away. No kill, but an ulti down.
They get MacLeod so low they can start pushing up this mid lane because it'll be a 4-on-4.
And Impactful zoned out. Oh, okay, good Valkyrie over the wall, but can they wave clear enough in time? Bombs coming out, damage there as well. Sheep is in the mix. There do seem to be enough reinforcements. MacLeod healing up, and Rux goes back top lane.
Yeah, they pulled Chris to mid lane, and Rux was still sitting top. So it was a 4-on-4 with Rux still being up, but in the top lane, not a presence in that fight or push.
But his Triforce is done now, which means that Rux should have an even better time trying to bully Chris around. Chris does have his Sork Shoes done. The Rod of Ages in there as well. He is powering up in damage as much as possible. But I've yet to see Rux lose a fight to him.
But also speaking of item power spikes here, ooh.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. That sucks.
A little bit, but look at that wave clear though. Rise gets to basically full heal and kill a bunch of minions off a spell rotation. It just depends if Rux can actually get in and deal damage here. Dragon up in 7 seconds. Curse Academy in the right place for it.
They want to force a pick on this because ManCloud just completed his DFG.
Yeah. Blue Elixir too.
He's ready for this. He bought those temporary combat stats. If he lands a charm, he can pick somebody off. But Coast, they aren't grouped up. I mean, they are grouped up, so it's really hard to pick somebody off.
And there's the TP and the flank from Chris. They spot it. They're trying to run. Tidal Wave could disengage, but they just go in towards the Rise. The jump in for Santorin forces the flash away. Look at that by Coast. There's a knockback of Magna. Golden Glue just goes down, though, after burning all of his spells, but Saint is low. He will go down 1 for 1, but here comes Rise. Mash and Sheep lose a lot of health, and Santorin is going to follow suit. 2 for 1 to Curse Academy.
So much soaking there by Chris, and the hook from Bunny Fufu onto Sheep. Golden Glue gets just decimated in the middle of the fight, courtesy of ManCloud and company.
And now it's mid lane under pressure by Curse Academy. Rux did not have anything to do up there. They lost the fight, and it will be an outer turret going down. Maybe they can retreat to Dragon afterwards. But great by Curse Academy.
Playing to their win conditions, they end up getting 2 kills and a middle turret for them. They're about to go equal in gold here if they get this Dragon.
And that's going to be a great thing then. Curse Academy only down 900. They'll get a lead off this hack. But Coast, looks like they want to stop this one. No teleport up for Rux and low health. Pink Ward comes down and Sheep says, oh, hi. Oh! Well, it's still St. Vicious, guys. Rux steals away with an 80 Nidalee Javelin. That was beautiful.
Wow. His smile on Rux's face there after that.
Yep.
Oh.
To be fair, they're 1-1 now. Saint got a steal, Saint got one stolen. Both these teams taking their own objectives away from each other.
But that would have put Curse Academy ahead in gold. That's exactly what they wanted. But Coast, man, it's no wonder he capitalized his name. Because every time we're going to say it, he's going to be like, Rux, what did he do?
Rux
Stole
can
the
hype me every game, because why not? Death Cap coming soon for Golden Glue, meaning Coast going to get even more explosive soon. But man, this game is much closer. To be fair, Saint wasn't at the Dragon fight. So
you're the one who
I
said,
really can't. I can't
like,
blame Saint. I apologize, guys. I just assumed I was wrong.
You're like, Saint Vicious is still Saint Vicious. And I'm like, ah.
That wasn't wrong. It's no longer a diss.
No, he's no longer Saint Vicious.
That's not true. Pope Vicious. Why not? I don't know. It's getting worse throughout the day. I'm sorry, guys. Team Coast. I do want to talk about the fact, though, after correcting myself, that we expect the Coast to come in as heavy favorites. They 2-1 Curse Academy last time, 10-1 overall record. Much, much closer game here. Curse Academy, I think, have been steadily improving as a team. We heard Coast talk about the fact that, oh yeah, we think Team 8's better than Curse Academy. We thought our road was so hard coming in. They 2-0'd Team 8 pretty easily. Curse Academy giving them a real run for their money. 1,000 gold difference, 21 minutes in. This is a good Curse Academy team.
Yeah, and a lot of this is going to stem later on from Chris and ManCloud with those scaling champions and who they can get to, because their flank looked really good coming into that Dragon Pit. Because I talked about it, they don't want a 5-on-5 fight, but look at this.
Saint Vicious really alone right now, but he's got a teammate around. Doesn't click the lantern in time. Golden Glue gets it with the ultimate. Impactful, forced to run away. Nice pick by Coast.
Squashed in transit there. He barely clicked it, and it put him across the Mega Inferno Bomb still.
So Coast getting a little bit more breathing room here. I mean, they're the team with the lead, but they haven't been able to actually find good team fights. When they showed up for Dragon, I thought, great, that's what your comp wants to do. Get in the 5v5, but the flank from Chris, that in the moment shotgunning by Curse Academy to split the team up, was so darn good there. That gives me a lot of hope for Curse Academy with this lineup here. With their decision making, Rux wants to get around behind Chris there and make a play, but Bunny Fufu holding ManCloud alive. Red buff on.
He's got red. He's going to keep slowing him.
Javelin misses, though. He expected the juke. And Chris just slowly saunters away.
St. Vicious, 0 and 5. He's 5 out of the 7 kills that Coast has. He's just getting countered. His ganks are just being seen ahead of time by Santorin.
Yeah.
And when he's present in these team fights, he's picked off first. He's very squishy.
Yeah, he's had, I guess, an inconsistent summer then, because we've seen some great games and bad ones, but there's Saint trying to get away from Rux. Rux very low on health, forced run away. Bubble's going to miss. Saint, though, low on health. The Q won't quite land from Santorin. Coast are set up to siege this turret, though. Q comes out.
Can they do it? Can they continue to push on? They're not going to have St. Vicious in this fight here from Curse Academy. Coast has some pushing power, but the rest of Curse Academy is there.
Keep in mind, Coast do have 2 healers on the team. Rux and Sheep have both maxed their heals by now, so there's a lot of sustain available for a siege here. Not to mention that Ziggs and Trist are probably the 2 best in role for turret killing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's actually a lot that Coast can do the more I look at this game. Set up for an easy 1-4. Rux has been beating up Chris all game still. I feel like if Coast can just get into that one controlled environment where they just control the variables, that's a done deal. Chris Academy keep throwing a wrench in the works, right? Looking for picks all the time. That's part of why Saint's getting picked out so much, is he's looking for all these plays. They're just not always there.
Yeah, he's looking for the opportunity, and he's kind of forcing it sometimes, and it really isn't coming up big for him. Granted, he does have 3 assists, and he set up some of his teammates, but this vision that he's getting for his team is something that isn't worth it.
Well, it's going to spot a lot of the team. This is probably a St. Vicious call right here. Guys, let's randomly 3-man the Baron. Sheep is going to walk in and say, hold on a second, guys, they're on Baron, guys. And Curse Academy got to back out.
Wow. Good instincts there.
Yeah.
Because Curse Academy, with that ward that St. Vicious had placed previously that ended up costing him his life, saw 2 members of Coast back. So he was calling for the Baron, but Sheep, with a little bit of game sense, saw it coming.
It's really good by him, man. Making it all happen. 1,500 gold keeps Coast ahead thanks to not losing Baron here. Rux kind of looking to be the assassin on the wings right here. Trinity Force done. Going tanky, though, from here. He is not balls. No Infinity Edge for the Nidalee.
It actually worked out pretty well for him. He built that.
Blue buff attempt.
Whoop.
Looks like that's going to go to Golden Glue, so good timing on the satchel. And the bouncing bomb to make that happen.
Oh, Santorin. Looking for a play, didn't find it.
Looking for the move there. Plenty of ward coverage, though, for Cursed Academy. These guys have walked through a lot of vision to get where they are. Rux does clear the pink ward away. But he has been yet to pressure turrets much by himself. Only the outer turret line is gone for Coast. That split push just isn't turning into much, just kind of treading water. Wards go down, but even more wards are there from Cursed Academy. I mean, double Sightstone is a lot of wards.
Yeah, they have a lot of control on this map. Make sure they can make these safe plays and get the picks. You need vision as a pick composition. And they got in on that Dragon Pit first. So now they're going to get poked.
Now Chris is in. Mash is pushing the mid lane. Their Infinity Edge is done on the guy.
Ooh, Saint is half HP.
Yeah, that is a lot of poke that has come out, even though Chris Academy have the long-range skill shot pick potential. The long-range skill shot damage just is landing from Team Coast. They claim this easily there, and there you go. Coast now up closer to 3,000 in this one.
Yeah, all those sweepers just denying vision, getting themselves in on the Dragon Pit after they poked Curse Academy off it, and they're rotating. And they actually have everybody in this bot lane.
Well, Chris was forced to ulti to get away from that gank right there. You saw the bubble go right behind his feet. And there's going to be a turret taking a lot of pain right here. Good damage from Golden Glue. Here comes Mash as well. Turret, 2 hits from dead. There it goes.
Wow, so that rotation there right after getting the dragon was perfect by Coast. Curse Academy went off to the left, and St. Vicious still had to back at that time.
Yeah.
So there was no response.
So Curse Academy forced to play even more defensive now as they wait a bit longer in this game. 4,000 gold now putting Coast ahead. Pretty recent change of events there. But Curse Academy still playing for the late game, still trying to power up on Rise. Chris picked up Distortion enchant on his boots just recently to have more split pushing power potentially.
Yeah, all across the board, everybody's pretty even in terms of CS. It's just these kills and who they land on, as well as that dragon control that's really been the deciding factor in this game.
Yeah.
ManCloud, he can still turn it around with the DFG. Impactful is also 3-0 and 2 right now as Corki. So he's hitting these spikes for himself where he's about to get himself an Infinity Edge on top of his Trinity Force.
Yeah, problem is right now, though, he's behind Mash in damage. Now, there's not much for Coast to team fight for. They've been reluctant to siege turrets, which I don't know if they need to be honest. They've got better items right now. Rux, again, can keep pushing around Chris. I suppose they might just be afraid of the teleport flanks. Chris has shown that's a way to win a fight before, but... And still, Coast playing a fairly slow style, to be honest. If they get the damage, they make moves, but until then, they're pretty afraid. Saint backs off. ManCloud there to cover. Has chugged his blue elixir by now. Here's Rux looking for the move. Javelin won't land. Chris has burned the ulti to run faster away.
Rux is just bullying around Chris in the top lane. I don't know how long that'll last, though, because Rise gets pretty tanky, and he has machine gun, short cooldown, high damage spells.
And he's only going to get tankier and only going to deal more and more damage over time. Saint wants to make the play. Hook's not quite going to land. Dodged by Santorin. And Coast look to be starting to play around the Baron Pit a little bit. Curse Academy has been the team that's held Baron control mostly, but they have not been able to take it for themselves. Not a lot of wards in the inventory, though. I would expect right now a team to recall, buy 4 pinks, and try to get control of something. not the case just yet.
You know, being up here and hearing everybody cheer every time a ward dies really makes me realize how many wards are being killed this game.
Yeah, a lot.
It's helped me keep count. I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of wards. The division game back and forth between these two teams and where it's located is really key. The fact they just went to Baron and swept it out, they can now start making plays on that side of the map.
That's true. So you said you were getting help keeping count. How many wards is it?
5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2 plus 9. Oh, 9. Sorry, I'm cheating. I'm looking at the
sweeper
lens. Yeah.
Who's got 9? Is that ManCloud?
Yeah, ManCloud has swept 9 wards this game.
That doesn't even count pinks.
Yeah, that doesn't. That's just what he's gotten with his sweeping lens. Most people are averaging around 5. That's just how key and how early they got these sweepers.
I'm going to say 40. 40 wards have given their lives to this game.
Did somebody just tell you in your...
No, I actually was told we can't actually get live ward kill stats. Otherwise, I would totally cheat, give you the number exactly, and be like, deal with it. But I don't have that number for you, unfortunately. I'll tell you after the game, though. We will get that one. But Rux is still trying to split. Impactful is now sent as the defender. Honestly, there's no armor at all on Rux. This is actually a fairly easy fight, I think, for Impactful.
Both sides have swept 16 wards as it stands right now, and they're rotating top. Vision game, once again, comes down. St. Vicious puts that ward in. Chris is going to look for a flank here.
Ooh, can he get it? Same for ManCloud, actually. Rux trying to make his way in, but of course has to respect all the plays. Bunny Fufu could land that one death hook that lets Curse Academy in on this game and maybe even gives them Baron. And you can see Coast immediately back off. They are so respectful of Curse Academy's ability to pick them off. That Coast are playing very safe, very far back.
And you can see
relying on their late game.
Sweeper not available, so that ward gets to live for a day. It's shaking right now. It's so scary.
Do we cheer when they like die of old age?
Oh. No.
Ward lived a good long life of 3 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, we boo if they die of old age?
No.
That's what I heard. Pinks are immortal, kind of.
That's true. That's true.
But they flaunt it. They're not even invisible. They're like, yeah, I can't die. What? Bring it.
Then you hit him 5 times. Yeah. Not so smart now, Ward.
Sounds like me in high school.
You can't die and then you get hit 5 times for being visible?
Yeah. Sounds about right. Sheep kills a ward away. Baron back under control of Team Coast. And it feels like the neutral objectives are really heavily the focus of these two teams.
Yeah, because last time that these two teams fought each other, the one that had Dragon control at the start of the game was the one that ended up closing the game out. So having objective control is extremely crucial, and they are just going to, you know they watched their previous matchup over again and said, what went wrong? How could we have done that better? And even Coast, because they dropped a game against Curse Academy. How could they have closed that match out? How could they have come back? And so they both went back to the drawing board, and this is the answer, is sweeping wards over and over and over again and having more sight stones on the team.
And yep, double sight stone per team, triple sweeper per team as well. I'm looking at the minimap, and I don't see actually a ton of pink wards just right now.
Not anymore.
They keep dying of not old age, but violence, assault, and battery.
It's never the answer.
It is for pink wards.
Except for pinks, yeah. That's always the answer then.
They could just replace it.
Wow.
Golden Glue, he lost vision so much he had to check with the ultimate. That is actually an important spell down.
Flashes.
The hook lands on a Sheep, and there goes ManCloud. Sheep goes down, 1 for 0. Curse Academy, what can you do with this?
Wow, Dragon is live, but they are looking at that mid lane. They have a minion wave that they have to clear out.
And so Coast are going to rush down Dragon for this one. This should go down rather rapidly. Mash can't find a place to shoot it from. He's too low level.
They need Rux to auto-attack this. It's not going to go down fast enough. Saint's already in the pit.
And it's going to be Curse Academy claiming Dragon after all. Pink ward goes down. Let's get the Dragon for ourselves. Sheep, unfortunately, caught by the hook.
He got it last time with a spear, but not this time.
This time Saint's in the pit. He knows how to smite.
Yeah, this time. Man. So now, 1,000 gold difference. Again, Curse Academy get a pick with a flash hook from Bunny Fufu onto Sheep. You can't give this guy Thresh. You really just can't. He's going to make those picks for his team every time. It's pretty much without fail. That's why when he was in the LCS, he was getting these types of picks on LCS players all the time.
Darn right, it was a scary champ for him, and it's worth keeping in mind that Impactful is getting the better end of these trades as well. He's gotten 3 of the 6 kills on his team. Of course, 3 assists, nice as well, but edge done. Trinity Force there. The makings of a Last Whisper coming up soon. Santorin killing Ward before they could live for 3 minutes. Look at his baby.
He was so young.
I know.
No.
That one's old though. You know, it's his time. Bye, Pink Ward.
Man. Everybody's just cheering for the death of these wards.
I just realized something. I want a timer on a Pink Ward just to know how long it lasted. So that you have this like badge of shame when you kill a Pink Ward and you're like, that was in my base for like 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're just like sad when you kill a ward.
That sometimes happens when people place wards by enemy red buff up in the top side of it.
I just realized something.
What did you realize? You just realized something a second ago. Pimping these around.
Wards don't have souls.
Oh, because Thresh doesn't get a soul.
Wards don't have souls.
Therefore, everybody can cheer for them and not feel bad.
It's not a bad thing. Don't worry, we're okay. They're inanimate objects. They don't have feelings.
You know who does have feelings? These two teams.
Yes, they do. And Rux is feeling like he wants to push the bottom lane, but you can see his matchup, I feel like, is dwindling against Chris here. Riot has weathered the storm. 309 CS there. Seraph's done. Banshee's on as well.
I have to say, if you were in the LCS audience earlier today and you went home, you are missing out on all these ward cheers.
I know,
this is one of the bloodiest games in terms of ward kills we've seen.
This is like CLGE vs WE all over again.
Ah, that's where it all started.
That's where it all started. And we are continuing the tradition here, man. Wards for days going down. I'm surprised we're not seeing more sweepers, but I guess Rux and Chris just want to battle all the time.
Yeah, because they need to be able to split push and have their sides covered.
Well, then it depends on item slots. Can you ward for yourself? Do you need potions? Do you need that next item completion? Right now, they are relying on the yellow trinkets for that, but when we saw Balls play in Italy, he was actually investing really heavily in stacks of wards as he came around the map.
All right, so we're going to keep tabs of things for a second here, because we haven't looked at the items in a while. Zhonya's Hourglass completed for ManCloud, so he can go really hard and not be punished for it immediately. He can bait the enemy team into a bad position. Curse Academy just evened up the gold with that turret.
There you go.
Another spike here. Chris, Rod of Ages is stacked completely up. He now has his Seraph's Embrace, a Banshee's Veil to deal with Nidalee's damage, and he's building a Chain Vest so he can be...
Uh-oh, going to glue down! He goes down! Right away by ManCloud. Again, the cocoons, the CC is landing, and Curse Academy find another pick.
That pick was so fast. And the fact that they had ward control of that area is what allowed that to happen. What are they going to get for this? They're continuing to go.
Some damage on a Mash, first of all, in the mid lane, pressure as well.
Oh, Rux is in Rux City right now, pushing top.
Population 1 right now, maybe 2 as Chris shows up to defend that. But a tier 2 turret went down despite a kill going to Curse Academy. That is a better thing for Coast here back in the tiniest of gold leads. Control over Baron, still something that Curse Academy has, except for this one ward, watching them all recall.
Wow.
That ward was like 20 seconds old.
Yeah. That poor thing. So ManCloud has been getting a lot of picks here with the help of his Charm and Bunny Fufu at the same time. Santorin, he's going to counter jungle, he's going to get this blue for himself, but it's just these tiny little edges that you need over your opponent.
Yeah.
Steal that away, ManCloud's not going to have as many Spirit Rushes.
One thing I'm kind of concerned with for Coast is I feel like they're not pushing their farm onto Mash enough. I feel like a game like this where you're having a really hard time playing around the river, playing around the vision game, you just say, screw it, let's just siege something, and you give your AD carry an item lead and just say go. And Mash with the Bloodthirst will help him stay alive in fights like this, but you get to that last Whisper point where you kill the front line immediately, and you like win the game off of mass sieging and peeling for him.
I wonder how much gold has been generated this game by killing wards.
Like 8 million.
Yeah, it's a lot. And right now, speaking of wards, Curse Academy has complete vision of this pit.
And they are starting. Coast are just going to go down the mid lane. They don't want to get picked off again. They've done that song and dance before. The river spells death for the team. No, they turn around midway through, but Baron's already gone. Coast, they can just go up the mid lane, get a turret for themselves. Curse Academy forced to recall to defend what they can, but they will lose a turret for this Baron.
Wow, so that's going to be the trade that they go for. The gold, 400 in favor of Curse Academy and temporary combat stats on them. A brilliant play to go and use, look at that, 3 pink wards in the pit. They swept all of it out, and they made sure that that was a safe Baron play. They've been forcing that objective as much as they possibly can, and with the picks from ManCloud and just the potential of them happening, gave them that Baron.
Absolutely beautiful by Curse Academy. They played it slow, they played it smart, they played it with the vision game, and they got in because of it. So, Curse Academy now in control of the game.
Look at the inventory for Curse Academy. 3 pink wards just sitting there for them. And now Coast, they're trying to make a pick now. Don't know if it's going to happen, though. There's no reason for Curse Academy to be this side of the map when they could just push mid instead of going for the Dragon, which is up in 8 seconds.
Well, Zig's ulti going to clear away the mid lane for now, but top lane already the target of attention of Curse Academy. Coast will stay for a Dragon at cost of their blue buff and probably top tier 2, so not necessarily the best thing for Coast right now. Chris is basically freezing and free farming the right-hand side lane.
This is really big. They saw the origin point of where the Zig's ultimate came from when it landed, so they go to the opposite side and start pushing top.
Look at that. This is a dead turret then. Curse Academy maintain the lead. Chris free farming with teleport up, so no real threat for him because Coast don't have exactly great team fighting gauge. The slow siege game actually not too hard for them.
Ooh, Curse Academy looking for picks as much as they possibly can. Their ward control has been really good this game. I talked about it early on, that when you are the pick team, you need to have ward control over your opponents in all areas of the map. Establish ward control with pinks, with your yellows, with your greens, and then also sweep the vision out so you can make plays like they just did.
And look at that, like clockwork, the turrets are going down. Coast had finally gotten all 6 outside the base turrets down, but Curse Academy about to equal that mark right here. 1, 2, and now 3 as Chris has finally pushed that lane down to the turret. Coast, I don't know if they can really defend this.
Yeah, they need Golden Glue in the right position to clear the wave, but it's going to be another turret going down in favor of Curse Academy. And now they're even in turrets, even in kills.
And Curse Academy, though, doing a better job with the neutral objectives, though. So look at that. A first blood off the Bunny Fufu hook set the stage. Coast found a couple of really good fights, found their way back into the game, but pick after pick into Baron control put Curse Academy back into the lead here. If they can take their time on a recall, full health, full items, and go for it again.
It really just has been the picks over and over again here for Curse Academy, playing to their win conditions perfectly this game. And a big thing is they haven't had a 5-on-5 team fight in a long time.
Well, they don't want one.
I don't even think ManCloud's used his Zonias this game.
No.
That's how little he's been at risk this game. He goes in, charm, picks somebody off, and he's out. He doesn't have to pop that item. And now, Chris, another power spike here. This Ryze hasn't seen a lot of action this game, but that's exactly what you want as a Ryze. He just completed his Frozen Heart, and he's about to build his last item. People are hitting 6 items already.
Yeah, just think about what happened to the end game top lane matchup. Rux was winning early. He got a gank from Santorin, got a kill, was crushing the matchup, pushing the turrets down. Chris has found a way to vastly outfarm Rux. He went from down 20 to 30 minions to up 60, basically.
Oh, it's a ward graveyard.
Oh, no.
Ah, killed his brother.
And down they go.
So Curse Academy got a couple of turrets off of this Baron buff, but it's pretty close to expiring at this point.
But the thing is that set them up for a lead, though. They're up 2K. Now, to win a game, I don't think you can play picks forever. Baron itself is only worth 1,500 gold. That is a very slow way to win a gold lead, especially when you're practically end game builds regardless. So at a certain point, Coast don't have to leave their base. Neither team has to do anything aside from defend or push turrets down. So I want to know what Curse can do when they have to group up and they have to face the enemy team of Coast.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Sheep now has his Mikhail's Crucible, so we can get rid of a hook and make sure that doesn't happen. He can also get rid of a charm. But, you know, somebody could get blown up still in that time. But they're just going to continue to clear these waves out. Can Curse Academy crack the base? That's a big question here, 'cause it's really hard. They don't have a lot of wave clear available. It's really just missile barrage.
That's true, and that's a bit of a weakness then. Ooh. Rux taking some damage from ManCloud, wants to fight though. ManCloud tries to cut him away, forces the flash, 1 hit from Deb, but can't land another spell. Rux stays alive, but loses the summon spell for it. Chris now taking some damage.
Santorin, 2 levels down on Chris right now. Everybody hitting those level 18s, except for the junglers and the supports. It's really late game coming in here.
That is a quick kill on the white here. It is really late game coming in. That one's dead. Huh? Yeah!
Wow.
There have been a lot of dead wards.
Yes, there have been a lot of wards killed this game.
Uh-oh. He's found it. Oh, no, watch out! Oh, he died. What if you had to name every ward?
Johnny! Johnny, no!
And Billy!
No!
Billy has also fallen.
He was so young.
I know. Why are they male?
Well, see, the pink wards are female.
Oh, that's cute. People are buying sheep.
I somehow blame you for this.
Good. I like this stuff.
That's the thing.
This is like my kind of cast. Everyone's just trolling all the time. I love you guys.
Everybody's such a bad influence.
Great influence. Great influence.
I guess it is perspective.
Darn right it is. Curse Academy 40 seconds early to Baron, but that's to set up ward control. And the wards go down. Still 2,000 gold. Pink wards on Baron. A few more in the inventories.
Wow.
Chris in a battle against Rux. Can Rux win this battle? I don't really think so.
I think he's past that point where he could actually take this home.
Well, he bought a Randuin's, so like he's not even... He's 3,000 gold basically not spent on defending or dealing damage to Chris. You can see how that matchup works when that happens here.
Yep. St. Vicious looking for the flank around. If he can get around and make a cocoon happen.
Well, Rux is coming in, or Chris is coming in right now. He's going to be in the flank sooner than Rux will be. Can they get the cocoon? Santorin jukes into it. The hook's going to land as well, and here comes the fight. Santorin goes down. St. Vicious sure to follow. No, he repels into the air. Can he get away from the Ziggs bombs? In comes Mash, finds the kill. Hook on a Rux. Battle begins even farther, and Impactful is one hit away from dead, but nothing can reach him. But Coast deal enough damage that they are into the base.
They're going to crack the base. They might get an inhibitor off of this too.
Oh my gosh, 50 seconds of St. Vicious. Impactful is still healing, and Bunny Fufu is low. The inhib goes down, and there's maybe a Baron or a Dragon to retreat to.
Just the late game prowess here of this team composition that Coast brought to the table. Santorin didn't want to get cocoon. He eats it anyway, and they trade junglers.
And they don't trade inhibitors equally. That one just went to Coast right here. And as the neutrals respawn, Mash and Sheep will claim this. The Dragon will go quickly to Team Coast. They're putting the gold back in their favor as Rux also takes control of the Baron pit.
Yeah, he puts a ward down too for good measure because Curse Academy, they love these sneaky, sneaky Barons. We're gonna see here Santorin, he jukes backwards, but he goes back into it. He gets hooked, he gets healed, but then he drops, and just so much damage from Golden Glue comes in onto St. Vicious. Then Mash comes in, slams him into the wall to pick up the kill, and they get Bunny Fufu low and Impactful, so they both have to back, which gives them an inhibitor turret and an inhibitor.
And there we go, Team Coast back in the smallest of leads. Santorin doesn't see any wards there. Wouldn't see anyway, he's Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Same
oh,
joke. Got
get a
you.
fist bump for that.
Yeah. ManCloud, though, removes away a ward for himself. There we go, that found it.
Wow, 28 wards swept on the side of Coast. 30 for Curse Academy.
That is, again, before pink wards, so even higher numbers there. Baron going down rather quickly, though. Curse Academy.
Santorin.
Below half.
It's
Santorin
so
goes in. ManCloud low on HP. There's his own buff. And Santorin gets the Baron, and here we go. 1, 2, almost 3 have fallen. ManCloud gets out, but the health bars are so darn low. Mashby flashes in. He finds one. Gets the McHale's. Gets the QSS. Impactful kills him. Sheep puts bubble down, but he's got no damage left. Impactful to carry the team. Gets a triple kill. Only man left alive. But there's Golden Glue for the ace, and it's a 2v0 in the base, and the Baron fight is gonna seal the deal. Team Coast gonna take game 1.
Not only did Santorin steal it, they come up huge on the aftermath, and Coast break the game wide open over Curse Academy to take game 1.
What a victory there. Nail-biting game back and forth the whole way. The fearlessness of the AD carries was the big standout to me. A great smite, of course, by Santorin, but you still had the entire Curse Academy team inside the Baron pit against a Ziggs. That is a scary place to be.
And you can see on their faces there, nobody really too happy or super displeased with that, because Curse Academy put up a really good fight there, and then Coast was a little sloppy by them, but they played their win conditions and didn't let the poke, or I guess the pick, happen in the late game.
Yeah, and it's got to be hard when you've lost like 50 wards. That doesn't count pink wards revealing or pink wards dying. Those don't get swept. So you've put so much vision down, throughout the game, trying desperately to not get hooked from the Fog of War, not get charmed from the Fog of War, then you just got to be like, you know what? This time, you just got to face check the Baron.
Yep.
Just got to try. Hope it works out.
It did.
And it did.
It completely worked out for him. Curse Academy swept 30 wards that game. Coast swept 28. That's before pink wards killing other wards off of the pink. That's ridiculous. There's so many wards. Everybody's like being Finding Nemo right now. Wards.
Hey, man. And, of course, you heard the cheers every time. You guys did not miss a single ward kill at home. Our observers are on that one. Thankfully, we do have multiple observers. One guy looks ahead a little bit. Well, I guess not necessarily looks ahead.
No, they use magic.
They use magic. They use magic to find out when the wards die. But a secondary observer is like, hey, by the way, bot lane's about to be swept. Brings the primary observer over to show the ward death.
Why are you giving away secrets, man?
Look, okay.
Just let you ruin the magic. Let him have the magic.
No, I'm just saying that we at the League of Legends Championship Series and the Challenger Series try very hard to bring you all the ward kills.
Okay, there we go.
So you can be part of the experience.
There we go. Yeah, I was against the cheering for ward kills beforehand, but I'm actually on board now.
Yeah, it makes you realize.
Halfway through the game, I was like, there's a ton of wards going down.
Yeah.
Because people won't shut up about cheering for them when they die.
And it's worth it, man. A controlled game. Unfortunately, Curse Academy let it slip away. Coast come back at the right time with a great team fight to close the game out. A well-done game.